This week, we see if a radical can beat a car from 1929. We risk it all at Blanchimon. And we get sandwiched at Lago Maggiore. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in 2022. It's week 25, and we have what I would probably say is quite a good week this week, if I'm brutally honest. Now in the background, you can see some wacky combination. I know you can. It's Laguna Seca. Let's have a look at the race details and exactly what is going on here. So we're racing 5 laps here at Laguna Seca. It's a rolling start, and again, the rolling starts are broken, annoying. Comfort soft tyres, tyres on fuel and tyre wear, and 450 pp with tuning enabled. So that's why we have some wacky cars. Timestamps in the background, of course. Do check those out. If there's a particular race you want to check out. But I chose the Radical for this 450 pp, mainly because we've used it in the past. Oh my word, this car is so good in the corners. Let's have a look at the race then. Let's have a look at exactly what happened, as well as a lap guide in there to help you beautiful people. Here we are then at the start. Tundra was top of the leaderboards, but let's look at max power there in the S Barcatura, the 1929 car there. Got max power. What a legend for doing that as we get ready for the race, and mixture of absolutely everything. Bear in mind, this is like the second race of the day already, or third race of the day. It was very early on, and we're straight into race A. Then we got Spook up ahead in the DeLorean. Let's not go 8. Oh, are we going to hit 88 miles now? I think we are. We'll see Spook disappear shortly. But we're going to continue on down towards turn 1 then. Not much happening here. The Radical slow on the straights, however, very quick in the corners. Now, in terms of the setup for this car, I will put it at the very end of the race. So you can see that. Come into here, not too shabby at all. And you can see how much we gain. Spook then loses the rear end, and we tap Spook there. Now, I wasn't sure whether we should give that back or not, because they'd already lost it. What's your thoughts on this, Chatteroo? Tidgney subscribers out there, what are your thoughts? Should I give that back or not? I wasn't too sure, but we'll continue on all the same as we go into this right-hander. Again, look at the difference here between a Polo and a Radical. Well, you expect this, right? 100% expect this. I've got downforce, they don't. So we're coming up to RPI. Again, look at this. They go left, and then they go back right, and then it forces me sort of like to react, and not too good of a start really here. I had 2 taps with people. Now that one, I didn't think was my fault at all, because they were moving all over the show there, reacting to my movements. Is not too good. Now we have TCR Inferno Fox. Shout out to you if you want to join TCR. Check out the description. If you want to report me for my driving, check out the website. You can report me for my driving on there. Now we're going to head down towards turn 1. I'm not even sure what car that is, but down the inside we go. We can see on the brakes we stop in an instant versus some of these other cars. So in we go. We're going to try and get the inside of Senna then. Oh, not going to quite work out as we leave this corner. Now, if you are going to use a Radical short shift, remember the Radical, it's got a turbo in the mid-range, so that's where it benefits the most as we go around the outside of the Civic. Getting some good racing with Senna as we get the job done. Now we're going to chuck it into this right-hander. You're going to see the massive difference here. Look at the difference here, because I've got downforce. My word, is it massively different. Right, we catch up then to the next group though. Oh, who's that off? What car is that off into the gravel? It looks like a Volkswagen Polo again. The Polo's in this, my word. As we come through here, we're going to try and go on the outside of Airy Maximus then. In towards the braking zone we go. Slight tap, but nothing major here. Side by side in towards the last corner. Be careful of oversteer on the exit here. And another job done there. P5 for us in the Radical. Let's fast forward a bit further on here. Going to a lap guide then. Turn 1, looking for that 3. Oh, the line there on the right-hand side. Beautiful marker in all cars, really. So you brake before it in some road cars. After in some, obviously this brake marker is going to be very generic because the cars are going to be vastly different here. Come into here, you want to clip the first apex, go out and come back in and clip the second one, and then well, I had to slow down a little bit there for the Integrale as we head towards this right-hander. Now the gravel on the left-hand side is what you use, a darker gravel there on the left-hand side. Brake just before that, and then you're going to turn in. Obviously, depending on the car, you might have to brake a bit earlier than I am. And most cars will not be able to brake later than the Radical. We are literally going to be the last of the brakes here as we get a brilliant run on the Integrale there. Going to go through. Now, as you head towards this right-hander, the end of your curb, some cars you will have to brake. In the Radical, you definitely don't have to brake. You can just lift and fly through here like anything. Remember, it's got downforce. The quicker you go, the more it uses it, and yeah, better you'll do. So I dabbed the brake there, but there was really no need. You can fly through there without braking. And we can see that got Max Power Car in the distance. We are going to catch up to that shortly. Now, on the right side, we've got the 3 board that I'm not highlighting, but that white marker on the barrier is what you want to use. So as you pass the 3, then you have that white paint on the barrier. And as you go past that, that's when you hit the brakes. If you're in a road car, obviously the 3 marker may be more worthwhile than the radical, but trust me, just get in the radical. I'll explain the settings at the very end. So head up to this kink then. On the right hand side, we're looking for that 2 board here. Just after the 2 board, you're going to dab the brakes, chuck it in. Even in the radical, our brake just to be safe. I mean, you can do it flat out, but yeah, you might have some issues here as we chuck it in. There we go. Through we go. I'm going to head up the hill and all the way up towards the corkscrew. What we're going to do here then. So on the right hand side, we've got these numbers there. We've got number 4. We're looking for the 3 or the line there. Now in the radical, you can actually brake past this. Most cars are braking before this. You do this in group 3, so just be careful. But use that as your marker. You want to brake for the crest of the hill usually, as I just do it there. In the radical, you want to be in 3rd gear for this. As we go over the hill, that's actually track limits, I would say. We're just over the curve there, so in towards the left we go. You want to just dab the brakes. There we go, track limits. As so you got max power, getting all sorts of oversteer then. In towards this right-hander then. You're looking for the 2 or the start of the red and white curve in the first red paint there. That is your brake marker here. As we go around the outside of the 90. Imagine this, a radical versus a 1929 car. When do you see this? Except in Gran Turismo. This is kind of cool. This is a Gran Turismo race. As we see, what's that? That's the that hybrid thingy, isn't it? As we head towards the last corner, that little light grey bit on the left-hand side, that's your brake marker. Or you use the boards on the right, but sometimes they'll get wiped out. As you saw, we nearly got wiped out earlier on. But there was just enough space for us there. That Toyota, I can't even remember what it's called. Aqua, there we go. I remember now. I can read the back of the car. Oh yeah, it is the Aqua. So we take the penalty. They apparently don't take their penalty for whatever reasons, unknown to science. Who knows? I started getting a race with Max Power and Ricky here. It's time to have a bit of fun because that is an old school car. And as I say, this is a proper Gran Turismo race, having a radical versus this Barker 1929 car. I mean, look at it. Look at that actual car. It's got one brake light in the middle. It looks like, right, Max Power goes defensive then, heading towards turn number 2 or 3, or however you want to call it on Laguna nowadays. So through there we go, trying to get the run on it. Oh, we did. We get the run indeed. Side by side then, but it has some power, that thing. In towards the right-hander we go. We do have to brake this time. And look at that. Hang on. Look at that rear view mirror. Look at it. Look at that. How good does that look when you're in a radical? Oh, my word. Right, we're defending then. We're defending in a radical versus like, what? What is going on here? Right, okay. We can leave that corner then. And we're going to head towards the kink. We've got Ricky Bobby up next. What can we do here? Dab the brake. Oh, actually a lot of braking there. And Ricky just gets it all wrong. We get the run then. Down the inside we go of the Aqua, the Toyota Aqua S 2011 car, which has been tuned up. We did that the very first week as well. In towards the braking zone we go. Just get on the inside. Over we go. Just how you do the corkscrew properly. There you can see it. And through we go into that P2 position. 11 seconds off the lead. We catch 9 of those seconds. Yes, we do. I think they made a mistake as well as us catching at the speed of sound. But that is it in terms of the radical. Let me jump to the settings for the car so you can see what I've actually done. So here are my settings. I didn't change much. Comfort soft tyres. The ECU, I had to buy a tunable ECU, so output dropped down to 89%. The ballast, 192 kilograms. The car weighs nothing anyway, so 192 kilograms extra is nothing in the grand scheme of it. Although I suppose the power to weight is wrecked. Ballast position, minus 36. Power restricted down to 70. I have no doubt you could make this far, far better if you're a tuning expert, want to adjust the gears, etc. I have no doubt you could do this. And this car, I believe, will be the best car for the week. Let's see, though. Somebody might come up with something better, something different. We don't know. I didn't give a shout out to TC_Heinz04 either for delivery, so a shout out to you once again for that. That's it, though, for race A, then. Let's jump to race B. We're at Spa-Francorchamps for race B. Yes, we are Group 3, GT3 at Spa. It's like what we did in Assetto the other day, but we're doing it in Gran Turismo. Let's look at those race details, first of all. Racing 5 laps here at Spa, so quite a decent length race. It's a rolling start, which is broken, obviously. Racing hard tyres only. Times 7 fuel. Wow, this is a fuel-saving race, as you will find out. Times 1 tyres, and it's Group 3. It's Bop. It's fixed. All the information on there for you. So, I was looking at the leaderboard, make sure I have all sorts of cars up there. Of course, the Subaru, Toyota, the usual shenanigans. But the Corvette was up there as well. Now, I did not know it was a fuel race, but good job I picked this Corvette, because it is. Let's jump to the race then. Let's have a look exactly what happens. Here we are then at the start. Make sure of all sorts of cars again. Corvettes, WRXs, Toyotas. I did say that. There's a few Porsches at the back. I'm not sure why the Porsche was chosen. Maybe Max Power can give us a bit of info on that. If you're watching, Max, just let us know. And yeah, as you can see, the rolling start broken. I'm starting before the chicane even. What a joke that is. Honestly, this is something that Gran Turismo really needs to get right. Get the rolling start sorted. It's one of the biggest things, in my opinion, in these daily races. It just ruins it. It completely ruins it. Right, turn one, lap guy. Here we go. Just after the 100 meter board, you are going to brake. Okay, use that 100 meter board. You've got the one on the wall or that board there. That doesn't usually get taken out, so you can use the board here. You don't want to go quite as deep as I did, but it's just after that 100 meter board and accelerate away then. Now, we've got Rouge and Radion next. Weirdly, in GT7 versus GT Sport, this corner is very easy because downforce is amplified so much. I mean, I lift here, but there was no need to lift. Now, in GT Sport, that on racing hard tyres was very hard to do flat out. In this, it's just no problem. So really don't worry about it. Just attack it, attack, and you will be able to get up there, no problemo. That's what she said. All right, so we carry on then in towards Laguna, and you're braking just before the curb on the left-hand side there. Just before, hit the brakes. You want to clip the inside so you can get a nice little run at the left-hander in the middle of the corner. However, got Max Power is there, so I'm going to have to go around the outside here. I'm going to get on the inside here. I'm going to get as far left as possible to have a good run for this right-hander. Now, Max Power defends that beautifully as we leave that corner. So we're going to look down the inside of Max Power. But before we do that, let's point out this braking zone then. So even earlier than the curb previously at Laguna, for this one, you're braking before the curb, but use the curb as your marker. That's what I'm always looking for. That's what I was looking out for there. As you can see, I hit the brakes. Just trying to get on the inside of this Porsche here. Max Power racing beautifully. This game does look good, doesn't it? It really does. Right, on the right-hand side, you got a flag marker. You should be braking and turning before this. That's your marker. So dab your brakes, turn in, third gear in the Corvette. Should be fine. You want to clip the left-hand side, and through we go. Avoid going too far out there. If you're an Assetto player, you're used to that. In Gran Turismo, don't do it! Right, we head towards Puan then. On the right-hand side, you've got the flag marker, which is after the 50 meters board. Now, I won't be doing it or showing it very well here because I just had to lift off completely as there was a bit of bump drafting going on. But you brake before that, you turn in. You want to sort of take a later line because that way you're not going to just turn too early and go too deep. As Max Power there, just going a bit wide on exit. We're going to head towards this chicane then. And you're going to brake before the curb. I use the curb more than the sign. You can use and choose between the two. Literally, before the curb is better in my opinion. And again, you want to get on the inside here, but Max Power's there again. We're having a beautiful race here with Max Power. So on the left then, as we go through this, got to leave a little bit of room on the exit. Be careful about going on the dark green stuff. It's very slippy. Right, this right-hander, again, this is similar to the sharp right-hander as we went downhill earlier. You're braking a bit more before the curb here because you want to get a nice early apex here. Just get around the corner, accelerate through. Be careful of the dark green stuff. You can't use it in Gran Turismo. You can in Assetto Corsa. Slight lift here potentially for some of you as we then leave that and we head towards Blanchimon then. So you are going to be in lots of slipstream here. And Dirty Air was on my mind as we were approaching Blanchimon as well. If it is on your mind, a slight lift is easily viable here at Blanchimon. As you can see, we do that fine and we get a good run through the corner. And now we're looking for the move in towards the chicane. Now, the 150 meter board, just after that is when you're going to start braking. Don't brake at it, brake just after it. You brake very differently to Assetto on this one. I will explain this at some point as we go into here. So they're trying to outbrake me here, the German, as we go into here. Now, I'm still there just, so they give me just enough room here. Now, as we go through this corner, I accidentally lose the rear end there. I know Max Power wondered whether it was himself. It wasn't. My rear end went before any contact happened. Purely on me that because I turned too sharply. Right, anyway, we're back in the action then. We catch up very quickly on this next lap. We got Max Power and Punk Attack, and they were so close together. I managed to get a run here. Now a penalty taken then, and we've got Bernhard here, who goes left to defend. So I go, no. I'm going on the outside here. Through we go, round the outside, just before Blanchimon. Happy days with that move. We'll do those every day of the week. Right, we're going to advance a lap here, because we're caught up to the Dodo. The Dodos must be protected. No, we won't do that. Right, we're going to look at the run. Look at the run on the Porsche here. The speed of this car, my word. We get it stopped, done, dusted. Happy days, P12. That was easy mode, absolute easy mode, as we then go through the right-hander and continue on out of there. Let's advance a bit further on then. We have a BMW M. You don't see one of these very often, do you, in Gran Turismo? But look at the speed difference again. Now, at this point, I didn't know there was a fuel save happening here, so we're looking for the run on the BMW. Oh, we've got slow beats also. Oh, my word! Round the outside of Blanchimon! Whoa, whoa! Drifty! Wow, and well played by the BMW there too. I mean, they tapped me, but I mean, I was on the outside there and we both survived and they gave me room. So fair play to the French driver there. You're going to be my driver of the day there. 434420. You're my driver of the week this week because that was a good save. Now, I realized then fuel was on and I was like, oh dear Lord, I've got to try and make it to the end. So I did a bit more short shifting. You can do that in the Corvette. You're already short shift, so I just short shift a bit more and it should be fine. Through here we go. We just managed to bring it back on. Although up ahead, they don't. The Dane doesn't keep it on. They get a 0.5 penalty at the end here. Not good for them as we go into the left-hander then. And as you can see, we leave that corner and we are within race now. In fact, Max Power absolutely nails the chicane. And Max Power gets it as well. Look at that. So he loses 2 positions from running wide at Blanchimont. Be careful about doing that on the last lap, folks. It is not very good. That's it for race B. You can have a good race here. You can have some good fun. So do check it out. Bit of strategy there with the fuel saving. Let's head to race C then, where we have even more strategy. Welcome then to Lago Maggiore. Yes, of course it's Lago Maggiore. We're going to be here like every other week with the amount of layouts. But even so, we're here at the full circuit. We're in Group 4 machinery with a race full of strategy. Let's have a look at those race details then. Racing 9 laps here at Lago Maggiore. It's a rolling start, but no need to worry too much about that, although it's a bit broken, it feels like. Racing softs required, hards not required. Look at the fuel and tyre wear. Times 7 fuel, times 12 tyre wear. Group 4 bot fixed. Now, I chose the Silvia because Nico told me to choose the Silvia. It's a very good car for this, actually, to be fair. And Nico told me the safe strategy, so I could show you folks the safe strategy. However, there is a more risky strategy, and that's doing a soft. And we do hard soft, as you will see, and people do different stuff during the race. Let's jump to that race and let's have a look exactly what happened, because this one, quite an interesting one and a good bit of strategy. So shout out to you, Polyphony Digital. Here we are then at the start. So we had Subarus, we got Alphas. So obviously the 4-wheel drive cars are going to be nerfed a little bit with the tyre wear. I've never driven the Silvia, or I don't think, apart from maybe a license, maybe. I'm not too sure. But look at this. Look at this start. What is this start, man? 18 miles an hour. It's a bit of a joke. Let's be real here. Absolute joke. Broken start. All 3 are broken starts, in my opinion. Gran Turismo, I praise you for the strategy, but please sort out the rolling starts because they are stupid. Right, anyway, we advanced further on. We've got One Bull here, and we've got Key in here as well. Check them both out on YouTube. So, One Bull in the Ferrari. Good choice, actually. I was following it. I was like, yeah, not a bad choice. But no, it's not the greatest choice, actually, when we look at the strategy. So, through we go and up into P15 then. Move during the double apex corner. We do have a lap guide coming up shortly. So, stay tuned for that one. Of course, you know that. Via the timestamps at the very beginning of the video. Now, up ahead, we've got an Alpha versus a GTR. I'm not sure which way is more here, actually. I think it's probably going to be the GTR. So they're both fighting up ahead. We go through here, through the left-hander. The Alpha going very slowly here. We're going to try and go around the outside here. Very sketchy maneuver. Just left enough space there. Well played by the Spaniard there. That was very well played to leave just enough of a gap there. Very good awareness. Shout out to you, Pesero72. Pesero! Sombre! No, we won't go there. Anyway, in towards the rounder. Now, One Bull decides to stay behind there, so fair play to you. Thanks for a little bit of bump draft. The GTR Lush Racing goes off, so that is us gaining another spot. Nearly actually getting back on circuit there by the auto. Anyway, through the left we go here. We've got people leaving left, right and centre here. We've got Jopopo up ahead. Jopopo 44. I'm assuming they're a Lewis fan, if I'm honest. Right, they're in a Marlboro Alfa Romeo, so this seems to be the car of choice by a lot of people. It's a very easy car to drive, I'll give you that. We're going to go down the inside here, and they just come off to the right and tap me under braking, which caused me to get all sorts of understeer. Now, Foster sees me, but then the Alpha decides to push us both off. Now, I managed to push Foster back on, but I didn't give that back up because that wasn't my fault. That's all Japopo. And I did flash Japopo as well. I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm sorry, okay. Yes, I did flash the French driver, but yeah, a bit annoying really. Now, they are going to come in the pits this lap. They are on soft as we fast forward round. I'm just spoiling the race ahead. So towards the left we go, and you're going to see them now. So we've got Jeff. My name is Jeff in the pits, and Japopo is going in as well. So people coming down the softs, I assume they're going to go on the hard based on the fact they're coming in at this lap. I'm not too sure. Mixture of strategies, as I say. Maximus, Decimus Meridius, leaders of the armies of... No, we won't go there either with Gladiator. But they're in the pits there on the soft tyre, and we come in. So we start on the hard, and we're going to the soft. We can see our fuel. Don't fuel save. Fueling is absolutely rapido in this. Pit stop's around 20 seconds. I think it's actually 19, but just give you a rough estimate there. As then we just get ahead of a GTR here. So yeah, soft is probably the optimum strategy here if you can save tires. If you can't, you're going to do hard soft. Otherwise, you're just going to have to pit twice, which is not efficient. Now, turn 1 lap guide. We're looking for blue van man on the left-hand side. Just after blue van man disappears off your screen, that is when you're going to brake here, as we're looking to catch up to Jeff and Dav, two familiar names in this guide now. On the right side is at the end of that white painted bit is your brake marker for here. Normally you drop a gear as well to second gear. I can't remember what I do because I realized I had to save a tiny bit of fuel during this because I didn't fill up. And as I say, definitely fill up. Don't worry about the fuel. Just fill up at the pit stop. It is rapido. So on the left hand side, you want to clip the curb here. Maybe not as much as I did then. On the right side, you've got the orange painted barrier, or orange barrier actually. It's not even painted. Now, at the end of that is when you're going to brake and turn in. Now, you want to clip the inside and avoid the sausage. The sausage is not very friendly anymore. So, get on the inside here. Accelerate out the corner. Use a bit of the exit there. You can use all that. Don't worry too much about that. Just make sure your wheels stay on the curb and you don't have dirty tires. So, heading down towards this right-hander. Our old brake marker's gone, but we have a new one here. So, the black line in the white bit. That is my brake marker. I brake just as that starts on the edge of your screen, so you'll see that in a second. And you're going to drop to third gear in the Sylvia, but you might pick another car here. Now I'm in the wrong gear. There we go. I go to the right gear. I just tapped Dav there, so I just let off a little bit because I was sort of like a push to pass a little bit, so Dav just get a bit of an advantage there. Apologies, Dav. So in towards this left-hander we go. We've got the end of the fence on the left-hand side. Our old brake marker has gone with the changes to Lego Maggiore. So you've got to use the fence on the left-hand side now. As that leaves your screen, you're going to dab it, you're going to chuck it in, and clip the inside. And you want to go towards the right-hand side. Make sure you keep on the curb, but you can cut it there, and then cut to left if you can. But Dav was there, so I couldn't do that. As we continue on then through the left and in towards the right, and we're on the inside of Dav now. That's the problem with the Alpha. It is slow. It will look after its tires. It will corner very well, but it is slow on the straights. But hey, if you can do soft, happy days. Now the braking's over for Banky Boy. End of the wall on the left hand side is what I was using. Literally the last of the late breakers. Now looking at the tyre wear as well. I'm still braking here, but I could maybe brake a little bit earlier with the tyre wear. But even so, I get around here, use the camber there, and accelerate out of the corner as we head up the hill. So, flat out, of course, group 4 into the left, no problem. I'm still short shifting a little bit here, then towards the right, again, flat out. No worries at all. Now, you know I use the gap on the trees on the right-hand side. However, I'm going to point out this TV stand. It's just after the TV stand, the gap. So, maybe you just want to use a TV stand instead. Just brake. Just after that leaves your screen, because you will be fine, as you see there. And you can chuck it in. Happy days. I say in fourth. Oh no, I do drop to third. I should have stayed in fourth, really. And then we drop to third as we brake here before the end of the curb on the left-hand side. I'm actually pointing at the screen here. On the left-hand side, point at the screen, even though it's highlighted for you. You can't see my hand. You want to get your tyres on the inside curb here. It will drag you around a little bit and continue on through the corner. Right, as we head towards this last corner, then we have the bullet signs on the left-hand side. The very last bullet sign, as the edge of that leaves your screen, that is when you're going to brake, turn in. Use a lot of the curb on the inside. You really want to maximize the exit here and the entrance. It's doing both here, so chuck it in. I don't maximize the curb on the inside, which means I have to slow the car down a bit more, and I lose some pace because of it. That is it in terms of race C then. As I say, a mixture of strategies. You may want to do soft and then pit to hot and go on hard. You might want to try soft if you can manage it, or hard then soft. Mixture of all sorts here. Good race this Polyphony Digital. Just sort out the blimmin' rolling starts, please. Please do. That is going to be it then for this weekly race guide. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please do give it a like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. But that is it for me once again. Good luck for your weekly races this week. And I hope to see you in another video or live stream very soon.